What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Hit the Books, Season 4, Episode 38. Mackie will be joining us shortly. Me and Ace are going to get into a couple things real quick. No Jesse this week. Ace, how are we feeling?
Yeah, missed a couple weeks, been away traveling, had some work stuff going on too. Happy to be back talking sports to the boys. We got a couple of finals here lined up. The MLB is in full swing. A lot of draft news, some OTA buzz going on too. So I'm ready to get talking some sports here. Ready to go. How about you?
Yeah, great week of sports coming up. I hate how much time they waited to play these game ones, but tonight we get game one of the Cup final. Tomorrow night, the NBA finals start. And obviously, I know they don't want to play on the same nights. They should just rotate. I don't think it's that hard. There's only two leagues, but we'll start out with the MLB this week. Like you said, MLB season is in full swing. We'll start out with our power rankings, then get into some news in the MLB. Power rankings for the week go Yankees at 5, Dodgers at 4, Cubs at 3, Mackies, Mets at 2, and the Detroit Tigers coming in at number 1. What is your initial list or thoughts on this list, and what do you think of these 5 teams? Who maybe an early season prediction for any of these teams, if any of them are going to fall out?
Yeah, I mean, you got the Yankees and Dodgers there. We see the Dodgers a little bit lower than normal. They had a tough loss to the Mets the other day. That's a good series that's going on. Meanwhile,
That
you
was
got
in
the
extras, right? They lost in extras.
Yeah, and then they played again yesterday, the Kershaw on the mound. That was a good game too. Tyler Megill had a nice start. Clayton Kershaw still trying to look to get back to form, but that Dodgers team still getting healthy. I mean, look at the lineup that they have, the rotation on the injured list. Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow,
They have an all-star
Hiroki
team sitting in the press
Hiroki
box.
Sasaki, Shohei Ohtani, Emmett Sheehan, like the list goes on and on. It's crazy. And they just made another deal under the radar. They brought in former all-star closer Alexis Diaz too.
Yep.
That was nice to see. They just keep adding people to that team, to that bullpen, and they can hit the ball. And look at Shohei Ohtani leading the league in home runs. I mean, they're up there. Enough talk about them, though. Those Mets, they deserve to be in that spot. Who would have thought this rotation would be that good? I mean, you have guys like Griffin Canning, Tyler Megill, Corday Senga, David Peterson pitching great. Look at
Even
Blackburn just
Blackburn got a start
yeah.
the other day.
Crazy that he beat the Dodgers in his debut, and then they throw him to the bullpen now. But they also have, I believe, Frankie Montas coming off the shelf soon too. So that Nets team's going to get another boost. And look at Juan Soto; he's starting to heat up too. That towering shot he had last night was all over social media. But those Detroit Tigers, what do you think about Tariq Skubal leading the way there?
I don't know if we talked about this last week. Obviously, last weekend he goes the complete game shutout. They're another team. I think they're definitely one of the best teams in the American League. Them and the Yankees, I think, are the class of the American League.
Yeah, and they just got a nice bat back to their lineup too. Their leadoff hitter Parker Meadows just came off the IL 60, making his debut the other day. I think it had a double and a triple to do that. Put up 10 runs against the lowly White Sox, that is. But guys like Kerry Carpenter hitting 3 home runs, and we know how good Torkelson's been.
Even
Gleyber
Baez stepped up for a little bit.
They got by his batting in the 9 spot.
It's
You could do a lot worse than him down there. Guys like
yeah.
Gleyber Torres just made their way over. Zach McKinstry's looking good. Colt Keith is on a nice little hitting streak too. I like a lot of the guys they have there, Riley Green, and then that pitching staff behind Skubal is really something to monitor too. I mean, they have Jack Flaherty. I know Jackson Jobe, the young phenom, and Reese Olson are both on the shelf right now, but they're still getting guys to come off injury. I believe it's Sawyer Gibson Long.
Mize, I
Um,
like him.
Casey Mize just came off the injury list. They have a couple other guys that are sitting in the minors that are coming off of the injured list too. So Cater Montero, I believe, still there as well. I mean, that team's so deep, and they're in the weakest division in the MLB, so they should be able to lock that up. But what about the Yankees too? I mean, Aaron Judge. We talked about Ohtani leading the way with his home runs, but he's the best player in the AL at least. I mean, you could say in the MLB. I'm going to go with Ohtani personally, but Judge has been on fire and he's carrying that team and he's getting some help from around him. And look
Yeah,
at the guys they paid. They just gave the bag to Carlos Rodon. They gave the bag to
and
Max
he's
Fried.
been a stud.
The two of them came in and they're pitching up to their contract. Something you love to see if you're a New York Yankees.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Obviously, they're always going to overpay for guys, but if you get performances like that, especially when it matters, where that team was last year, they could use a couple of those outings, maybe in a World Series game against the Dodgers or Mets, whoever they end up getting out of the NL, Phillies,
Yeah, and then it's nice to
Cubs.
see what's nice to see is a couple of guys coming back off injury too, especially for the Atlanta Braves. They're starting to play good baseball. That division's getting hot too. I don't know if you've been keeping your eyes on the NL East. We have the Mets up there in our power rankings. The Phillies are one of the best teams in the league. Can never count them out, even though they seem like they're not talked about as much as they should be. They brought in Jesus Luzardo, who's been lights out. He's like an NL Cy Young candidate right now. Behind Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola's been kind of weak, but the bats are going there in Philly. Look for them to make a big move. They need to get a closer. They let Hoffman go to the Blue Jays. He's doing pretty well there. Meanwhile, they don't have anybody too secure in the back end of their pen to really set the tone. Maybe my Red Sox fall out. They go get Chapman. I saw the rumors there. Some big bats being rumored around too. And then the Braves, though, like I said, Acuna's back in the mix. That first pitch home run was nice to see. But Spencer Strider as well. I mean, that team fully healthy is going to be tough to beat.
Yeah. I'm obviously getting Acuna back too. I don't know if you said that, but the way he started right back in the mix, that Braves team is a lot better than their record says, in my opinion.
Yeah, they started off really low. I think a sub 500 start, and since then
They were
they've been
what,
on.
0-8?
Yeah, and I think they were 17-19 at some point, and they've been on a really big win streak. Marcell Ozuna's had a great year too, and he's playing through a torn ligament. I don't know if you saw that. The fact that he's able to stay in the lineup, bat fourth every day, fourth or fifth, and hit the ball well is nice to see. You have guys like Drake Baldwin stepping up. You thought that Sean Murphy was going to be the guy this year, but platooning him once again with that rookie catcher, who I think he's second in the NL in rookie power rankings right now. And then meanwhile, you have that pitcher that's coming up, Schwellenbach. He's nice to see too. But they're losing some key pieces, which is a tough thing. Andrew Smith-Shawver just
I was
going
gonna
down
say,
for
was
the
it
year.
Smith-Shawver or Swellenbach that just went down? I knew it was one of them.
Smith-Shawver, yeah, done for the year now, out till late 2026, just having surgery. A lot of injuries going around the league now. Ronel Blanco getting surgery for the
Dude,
Houston
you remember
Astros.
last year? It was like Strider, all the big names went down in the first, like, month.
Yeah, and it's starting to happen again. But we're also getting people back. I don't know if you saw Yuri Perez, the dynamite
He
young
was
pitcher
one of
from
them.
the
They
Marlins.
sent him down. Remember, they just said he wasn't gonna play. He's playing. I saw.
He's back on
Um,
Monday. He's debuting this Monday.
yeah,
He's been pitching well in his rehab. He's only 22 years old. That's a nice phenom. Another guy that just came off of injury, George Kirby. Yeah, he hasn't looked great to start, similar to Strider coming off a long injury, but he's back in the mix. Did
yeah.
you see yes?
That game's in Pittsburgh. I was looking at going to that game. I saw he was pitching. We're going with that Burrows guy. I don't know much about him, but I
Mike
wanted to go.
Barros, yeah.
Pirates Marlins. That'll be the cheapest ticket of the season on a Monday
Yeah, I
night.
mean, did you see Marlins Stadium the other day? Their capacity was terrible,
Yeah,
but
there
I
was like
can't
7 people there.
can't imagine Pittsburgh is packing the house much more. But Burrows, yeah, that's
It's
someone.
literally just when Skeens pitches. That's the only games
Get this
people
guy
go to.
Burrows out of the lineup. Put Ashcraft into the starting rotation. They got him up right now. Bring up Bubba Chandler. Let's let these young guys play. But I'm in the same boat with my Red Sox. Roman Anthony, number one prospect in baseball. We're talking baseball right now, and if you're a baseball fan, you know who he is. He has been dynamite, and the Red Sox are just keeping him down for no apparent reason. Home run after home run after home run. He's as advertised. He should be up. We got Marcelo Meyer up there, so he's next. But um, yeah, talking about that George Kirby one. You see last night he got that liner back to his face, 102-mile-an-hour liner off the face.
No, I didn't see that. It hit him in the face.
Yeah, and he's fine. I guess he's gonna be fine. I mean, I would assume it's nice
He's
that
gonna
it's not
miss.
his
He's not gonna
shoulder.
miss any time.
No, I don't think so. It's nice that it's not his shoulder, so it's not gonna be a lengthy absence of anything, but
Yeah,
that'll wake you up. Maybe they'll get you pitching well too. You haven't been pitching the form, a liner, comeback attacker right to your phone.
wake you up a little bit.
Yeah, let's see.
Um,
He's day to day right now. He's fine after early exit. Yeah, definitely just doesn't feel too
yeah,
good.
that definitely is scary. Speaking of the Mariners, Cal Raleigh comes the first catcher in MLB history to reach 20 home runs on the season before June 1st. He currently sits tied with your boy Shohei with 23 to lead the league. Do you think Raleigh can keep this up and possibly keep his name in MVP contention with Judge?
I don't think he keeps it up, but I do think he finishes with a career year. I think he's on pace for one of the best catching statistical hitting years in MLB history. Can he keep this pace up? Probably not. He's hitting like 2 home runs a night often. And that lineup isn't too great. There's not a ton of protection around him. Yeah, you got J-Rod and Randy Rosarina, Rowdy Tellez, but the fact that he's putting on this performance for that team is crazy. We saw glimpses of him in the past few years kind of coming up. He's still a young catcher,
Yeah,
but I don't know if he stays at this clip, but I do think he's going to be an all-star this year. Probably lead all catchers in home runs. Good to see a new face though coming on. He's been insane. The Big Dumper is his nickname. I
yeah.
don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I had him in fantasy last year. I like watching him, and now obviously the year he's having this year is crazy. Like you said, I don't think he's any way in hell he keeps up with Judge and Ohtani, but I mean the way he's hitting them,
Face the catchers at least.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
And then you know what's funny?
Who's
What
probably
about the
next out of catchers home runs?
Oh,
Like, top of your head, I wouldn't even be able to guess. I'd say, like, Rutschman, but he's been bad.
no, he's been terrible.
Yeah,
Maybe Contreras, but he's been
Contreras on
kinda
the
hurt.
Cardinals.
Yeah, Will Smith's pretty good. Sal Perez is usually up there, but he's been slow this year. It looks like his age
Yeah,
is catching up to him.
yeah.
I like Hunter Goodman from the Rockies. I think he's up to 11 home runs now, 12 home runs maybe. That's
He
a
hit
pretty
I was gonna say he hit the triple today. He's been on fire.
yeah, he
Our
loved that
team is
series
just a
down
team
in
on a 3-game win streak. Let's
dude,
watch how we
I
talk
mean,
about the Rockies.
I was telling you, I was like, I'm surprised they go with the Marlins. They're on the longest heater of the season, and they get a nice little sweep too. I don't know why I just pictured that in my head. I couldn't come take myself to card it.
Yeah, you can't bet on them.
You know what's crazy is I almost carded them. I play that fantasy baseball. You know, I'm streaming pitchers every day, deep league. I streamed German Marquez. He's been pitching well of late, a lot of quality starts down in Miami. He goes down and gets the win. They were plus 280 on the money line that day, that
Yep.
first game of the series. But I was like, well, now I don't think they're going to win again. And I was thinking in my head this morning, I'm like, it's just going to say Rockies complete a sweep for like the first time all year. And then it happened by the skin of their teeth, the 3-2 win. I think there were a lot of tight games down there,
Yeah,
actually. But
yeah.
you know what? It was nice to see
Last
Sandy
night,
Alcantara.
they raw the guy on the Marlins was a foot short of a game-tying home run in the 8th or ninth.
Was it Kyle Stowers or Jesus Sanchez maybe?
I
But,
can't remember who it was. He hit it to the deepest part of center field, and Doyle got it.
they got some nice young pieces down there too. They definitely had a good trade with, the
They
Orioles,
trade everyone too. They're like us. We're like farm systems.
yeah, Agustin Ramirez looking good, that young catcher. But shout out Sandy Alcantara actually throwing a quality start the other day. That guy is going to be dealt soon. His value was so high coming into the year. Former Cy Young candidate, maybe winner, I can't remember. But his value was so high. He's been pitching awful. ERA ballooned up to between like 6 and 10. But he had a nice quality start the other day. He's someone that could go to like the Yankees or the Orioles, or not the Orioles this year, Yankees or the Dodgers team like that. I mean, I expect him to be dealt easily, but he's got to build up that value a little bit more. But those Rockies and Marlins teams way far out of it. A couple other teams I want to touch on. Those Diamondbacks. We talked about them potentially pushing the Dodgers for the division. They've been slumping bad. Corbin Carroll was starting to hit a little slump, and then he had a home run game the other day. Same one as Ketel Marte. I think that's a team that's good enough to get back into the mix and push for a wild card spot. But they
Even
got
without him,
uh without who?
Burns.
Yeah, I think without Burns, he didn't even pitch well to start the year. You know what? This is a team that did not need to get Corbin Burns, in my opinion. They had a guy named Ryan Nelson, who was one of their best pitchers in August last year, and they shifted him back to the bullpen because they brought in Burns. Now he's back in the rotation. He's looking good. He earned a spot, and he's looked good since they put him back in. They have other guys in the minors that are good enough pitchers. Yeah, Brandon Pfaadt had that terrible start the other day.
Yeah.
He threw the yes hitter, not the no hitter. He threw the
Yeah.
yes hitter. He didn't get any outs. Gave up 8 runs in the first inning, and they pulled him. Actually, a solid pitcher, though, in my opinion. Tough year. Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, Eduardo Rodriguez,
I
Ryan
like
Nelson.
Gallen.
I like that whole rotation. They have good enough pieces, and their lineup, top to bottom, is good. They brought in Naylor to hit in the middle of the lineup. They have Carroll, Perdomo stepping up. Jordan Lawler, top prospect, kind of faded. He's back down in AAA. I think he'll be back up soon enough. Um, and I think that's a team that'll push. But the Padres, look at that team too. I know Tatis is cooling off a little bit, but it's still early. They're going to make a big move. I saw they were in talks with my Red Sox for Jaron Duran. I would hate to see him go, but we just dumbly paid everybody else. Willie Abreu, Cedene Rafaela, Christian Campbell, top prospect, is an outfield by trade, even though he plays anywhere. Roman Anthony, outfield by trade. We have Yoshida. So I'd like to keep Duran, but if you're the San Diego Padres and you can add a guy like that, that's a great piece to add to your mix. And I know they're going to get more guys off the shelf. I believe Musgrove's still injured. Yu
Yeah.
Darvish. So as they get healthy, that's a team to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
The Cubs too. That's another one in the. I know
Yeah,
you
no one
mentioned them
really
earlier.
talks about the Cubs. They've been obviously they're without Imanaga right now. They're
Kyle
without a couple
Tucker.
of pieces as well.
Kyle Tucker's on the shelf right now too. I
Yeah,
think he's day to day, but
he just
what
went down then. Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't even know he was injured.
yeah, I think he'll probably be fine. Good to go. He's just being limited a little bit. But that's another team that's always making a splash. You know, them, the Cardinals. Like, how do the Cardinals stick around? They just win baseball games no matter what. Good
Yeah.
franchises do things like that. Team's not very good, in my opinion, but you can string them together. The Reds, I thought, would be playing a little bit better.
Pete Crow
Crazy.
Armstrong's been on fire for the Cubs.
Oh, Pete Crow Armstrong. He's one of the best players in the league, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, who
He's
saw
up
that
there
coming?
for is he in the race? I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably Ohtani for the MVP again, but
Ohtani,
he's up there?
Carroll, PCA, those are the
Yeah.
3 big names to be watching. He's looked great, though. He's doing everything night in, night out. They're moving him in the lineup, too. He's batting between 1 and 4. Never thought I'd see him hitting the 4 hole, but, the power's come a long way. One thing that really surprised me, I talked about the Reds as being a long shot to win the division. You wanna hear a crazy stat? Probably not too far-fetched because of how much he strikes out, but, Ellie De La Cruz already passed Tony Gwynn in the amount of
I saw
strikeouts
that.
he has.
Yeah.
What was that, 2,400 games, something like that, that Gwynn had? Ellie did it in 300.
Damn.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Like, that he strikes out over, I think it's like 1.5 times per game strikeout rate. Yeah, he's dynamite, he's electric, but that's just crazy. If you're gonna be a superstar sustainably in this league, take a page out of Juan Soto's book and get that plate discipline because that's what real
Yeah.
superstardom comes from.
Yeah.
But it's been fun to watch. The Brewers have been really hot recently too. That's a team that's probably creeping up towards our power rankings. Keep an eye on them. Um, we know how sneaky that team can
Nine
be.
and one in their last 10 for Milwaukee.
I think that's one of the sneakiest teams in the league year in and year out because you don't really hear it. It's a small market, but they have
I
guys
like
that
that.
are
I like the Brewers.
good players out there. I mean, they have some
Yeah.
young, a good mix of young and old, but they have Churio out there. I believe he's on that team.
Yeah,
Uh,
Churio. I was always a
Yelich,
Yelich guy,
Yelich has
so
been
he's
on
on
fire.
fire.
Yeah, I've been a Yelich fan since I've been seeing him down in Florida. It's funny to see him and Ozuna still snapping off. But they have the catcher out there too. Their pitching staff's pretty good. I like Peralta up there. Their closer's starting to settle in too, Miguel, so that's nice to see.
I wish they never lost Burns. He would
Yeah,
be he would be so good on that team, obviously. He just
but they
tore his
can't
arm, but
afford to pay too much up there where they
yeah,
play.
yeah.
But it's been good. My Red Sox been
Do they still have what's his name? What was the pitcher last year? Woodruff?
oh, Brandon Woodruff? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's on the shelf. I don't even know if he's still with the team, but I think he's injured right now. I don't think he's pitching. Um, but they have guys like Quinn Priester, like, stepping up. Remember Quinn Priester?
Former number 1 overall pick by
He's
my
with
Pirates.
you, he was with us. He's starting to pitch pretty well for me. He's got a couple of
Who did
back
we trade him to you for last year?
middle infielder.
Yeah,
Middle
who's the second baseman that you gave us?
yeah. Yeah, I don't remember
I
his
can't think. He's not on the Pirates anymore, so
yeah. It wasn't Stogard. It was, I don't know.
I can't think of who that. I'll look it up.
Yeah, but he had potential to crack the league. But a couple other teams, that Twins team, we hit on them. I took a -1.5 on our card last night. They just lost Pablo Lopez again. I talk about someone who's always hurt. That guy's always on the shelf. But that Twins team plays good baseball. I think it's just their
Nick York.
training. Nick York, yeah. I mean, it was a nothing for nothing trade.
I don't
Priester
know if
left
he's on the
us.
Pirates anymore. I'm looking
York
at this now.
York left you. Priester left us, but I think Priester is the best piece in that deal. You can never really pass if you're a number one pick in baseball as a pitcher, you got something to prove. Like, you're gonna
No,
be
he is still alright, he's still on the Pirates.
he's in the farm.
He's on AAA.
Yeah, I mean, but talking about a couple other things here, I mean, the Twins, like I said, their injury treatment is just nuts. But that team is good enough to make some noise. The Kansas City Royals team to keep an eye on. Bobby Witt. They called up top prospect Jack Caglione. I don't know if you saw how much
Yeah, I did see that.
he was tearing up the minors. Talk about someone speeding their prospect through the system. He just came right up. He went from single A to double A to triple A. He's been mashing. So they had put up a double digits, I think, last night in their victory, but he went 0 for, which was tough to see. So hopefully he can get his bat hot at the MLB level. But other than that, it's been great to follow. A lot of good teams doing crazy things around the league. Look at the Orioles. Charlie Borton's starting to pitch well, at least, but that team's still a dumpster fire, like you were saying. Astros, we were talking about this debate the other day. How would the Astros still hang around? This is the worst Astros team we've seen in so long. They
In
also
probably 8 years, this is definitely the worst
well,
Astros
they're
team we've
so
seen.
hurt, and they let everybody go when they're young, and they're still right there in the mix. Like, I don't know what it is. One thing that stays consistent, though, is they have Jose Altuve batting on that team and always hitting well.
I mean, they still have good pitching. I'm looking at it right now. Hunter Brown,
Lance McCullers is back.
it's in McCullers.
Oh,
You said Blanca, but obviously he's out for the
remember
year, right?
Valdez?
Valdez, yeah, I love Valdez. They still have Hader in the pen.
You know who's right around the corner from coming back too? If you remember him, Luis Garcia Jr., another pitcher that's
Mhm.
gonna help. They have those young guys, Gusto and Charlie Gordon, who
Is
haven't been
that's who you think wins that division then?
I picked the Mariners before the year started.
Yeah, I think I would say Mariners right
They're
now,
getting hit
but
by the injury bug too, though. I mean, that pitching
yeah.
staff. I think Brian Wu has been a nice surprise for that team. Nice young.
Mariners have a pretty friendly schedule coming up the rest of this month.
Yeah, George Kirby. Hopefully, he can get back to form. But I believe what's his name is on the shelf right now. The stud, Logan Gilbert. I think
Mhm.
he's still out right now. Bryce Miller, I believe he's also out. So
He was it. No, he's back. He's back. I have
he's
him in
back.
fantasy. He
Yeah.
pitched the other day.
Emerson Hancock looked good. Logan Evans too looked good. So that team's got a lot of pieces. They have one of the best closers in the league. You look to see him in the All-Star game for sure. Munoz has been on fire this year. One of my favorite closers in the league right there. So
I have him in fantasy as well. Is that the I have two who do
Andres
I have?
Munoz and Ranger Suarez, those are two
I
good.
have Munoz, I know that, and Suarez and Robert Suarez.
Yeah, I have him in I have
I
two of
have
them.
Class A too. I just try to stack saves.
Yeah, I stacked, Suarez and Munoz in one of my leagues too. But, watch for 2 big closer names to be on the move as we approach the deadline. I know it's, about a month and a half away now, right? So, look for Felix Bautista from the Baltimore Orioles to be dealt, and look for Aroldis Chapman from the Red Sox to be dealt.
No Mason Miller. You think the A's hold on to him for Vegas?
I think so. Yeah, I think they're going to hold on to a lot of these young pieces. I think they want to be good when they get there. Look at Jacob Wilson. He's the AL Rookie of the Year front runner right now. Look at some of these top prospects. They have Nick Kurtz, Tyler Soderstrom, Shea Langeliers. They paid Brent Rooker. They played Lawrence Butler. I mean, they got to put together some of this pitching staff. The starting
Also, when we were talking about the Tigers, neither of us said Flaherty. I like him as well.
Yeah, Flaherty has had a down year to start, but it looks like he's starting to come back into form. Last 2 starts look pretty good. And look how good he was for the Dodgers last year. We know what his potential is.
Yeah.
So, when that staff is fully healthy, I mean, it's lights out.
He's
Reese
been
Olson,
where now? St. Louis, Baltimore, LA,
he
Detroit.
was he was on Detroit to
Then
LA
he
and
was a
then
rental
back.
for the Dodgers, and then he went back to the Tigers.
Yeah, yeah, crazy to see, but I mean, hey, he went and got his rings, so kudos to him. But yeah, a lot of good stuff going on in the baseball world. A lot of top prospects coming up, people coming off injury, some guys getting hurt, but it's been exciting. And I gotta say one guy's name we haven't said too much, Bobby Witt. That guy's a stud too. So look for him to continue to tear it up. But best players in the MLB right now, after Judge and Ohtani, who do you got? Is it PCA? Is it Corbin Carroll? Is it
I'd say
Bobby
both.
Witt?
I'd say both. Maybe that's your top five.
Yeah, you think? Ronald Acuna, Mike Trout's looking good, huh?
Yeah, Trout. I mean, he's not top five right now. Just
No,
if you were saying, like, I guess this season you could maybe make an argument for it. I'd say.
but those
I mean,
5 gotta
same
be.
thing with Acuna. Like he just came back. We got to see if he sustains that.
Yeah. Juan Soto, he's gonna get back up there, we know that. Jackson Merrill, he's
I was
really
gonna
good.
say Merrill. He started the year kind of cold, didn't he?
Yeah, he's another one. He had a great rookie year. Sophomore slump you'd kind of
Yeah,
expect, I guess.
he was.
Um,
But he was the rookie of the year if Skeens didn't happen.
yeah, there's your boy Paul Skeens. He's gonna put up, what, a 7-15 record and be in the Cy Young running?
Yeah, yeah. With
Embarrassing.
a 1.92 ERA.
Hey, I'll tell you what, my guy Garrett Crochet looks like the absolute stud that he is as advertised, and he's putting up the same numbers. He's not getting any run support either, so I'm feeling your pain, I guess,
Yeah, but
but
the Red Sox aren't gonna move on from him. They just got
no,
him.
no, no, and we just extended him for, like, 10 years too, so
Yeah.
see. Shout out my
See,
boy
no, we
Raptor
won't do
Rivers
that.
too. He's been hitting the tar out of the baseball. He was
Yeah.
a MLB Player of May, so, at least that's exciting, but we lead the league in one-run loss. I think we already have 18 one-run losses this year. That's horrible.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's tough, but, what are you gonna do? We'll see what
I was
happens
telling
there.
Mackie 2 weeks ago before the Pirates went on that nice little stretch where they were scoring some runs, still losing games but scoring runs. There was a stretch from I think it was April 22nd to May 22nd that the Pirates went 25 straight games without scoring 5 or more runs.
That's crazy, yeah. I mean, you can't
And I
put
think
the
they
offense going
still
once.
do. Let me see. I think they still have less runs scored, like in total that runs scored, yep, than the Rockies, 2 less.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, at least you're not the Rockies, though. I mean, at least you can pitch.
The
At least
worst
you guys
the
can pitch.
worst part about the Rockies is they're actually not allowed to pick number 1 overall.
Yeah,
Like,
and
they're this bad, and it's not even gonna reward them.
they can't even pitch though. The fact that they play at Coors Field too. When you have the worst ERA in the league, like of all time, and you're on pace to be worse than the Chicago White Sox, does not help that you play in the home
Yeah.
run derby ballpark. Senzatella, Freeland, Marquez, like those guys. Oof,
And I was gonna say, they don't even have a good pitching staff to begin with.
Chase Dollander, top prospect up there. I mean, he's in the slaughterhouse. Get the hell out of there. But what are you gonna do? But a lot of good stuff happened in the baseball world.
Absolutely. We'll jump over to golf real quick. Scotty Scheffler's 2025 continues to be as impressive as everyone thought as he defends his title at the Memorial Tournament this past weekend. Scotty now has won 3 out of his last 4 starts on the tour and is the heavy betting favorite at the 2025 U.S. Open at Oakmont next weekend. I'm going to get the odds pulled up here. I'm not sure if they have them listed yet. I saw them listed a couple
We can
spots on
bet this guy
Instagram at
every
least.
time though, huh? Plus
Yeah.
230, plus 250 are about his opening odds for every non-major, right?
Let me see. I'm trying to find the everything listed right now is for the okay, wait, let me see. What is it? US Open, US Open. Here we go. Let's see what he is. Plus 300 on MGM for the fucking
That's good
US
odds.
Open.
That's good odds. We don't see that often. Usually it's plus 250.
Yeah. I'm going to take him plus 300. There's no even need to take a safe pick. I guess if there's someone that has a
But like
chance here,
a half
for me
unit
it
or a
would be
quarter unit.
the Oakmont is going to be so hard that week with the rough. It's 5 inches deep. The greens are absolute glass. I like Scotty to win. He's been too wayward off the tee, and he has 3 wins in the last 4 weeks, which is insane to say. I might take a flyer on taking Scotty and Rory. Um, I think those are the two guys at the end of the weekend. They're the two betting favorites, plus 300, plus 700. And then it goes to Bryson at 800, John Rahm 11-1, Xander 16-1. Another one I would like there. Um, I think it's Scotty and Rory, but I'm slamming Scheffler at plus 300.
You know what's nice is if you
Let me
even
see if
take
I can find
Scotty,
better odds on that. Go ahead.
you know what's nice about taking Scotty is he's always in the hunt. You're always gonna have a
Yeah.
guy that's at least right there. You can watch the whole weekend and know you're gonna have a dog in the race. Like any of these other guys, they can fall out quick.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'm going on Thursday next week, the day the US Open starts. I'm so excited for that. I'm trying to see if there's odds listed here on DraftKings. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I think plus 300, like you said, he's the hottest golfer in the world. He's the best golfer in the world. He's won 3 out of the last 4 weeks. I think you have to take him here plus 300. Like I said, I'll probably sprinkle on Rory. I like the plus 700, and then again, shop your odds here. I'm just going off BetMGM right now, 300 and 700 for Rory. I think Scotty brings it home. I might have to go on Sunday. I keep looking at tickets.
I
If he's
tailed your last two when he won those
if
last two, which was nice to see. And I think we can go back to the strategy that we had last year. Take them every time, and you're
Yep,
gonna be profitable.
yes, yeah, I agree. I
Last year, what
think
did he finish with?
I don't even
7?
fifth
5? 5 to 7?
15 wins. I don't know how many he had last year.
Yeah, I think it was like 5 to 7, I wanna say.
Yeah.
He started off hot. I think it
Yeah,
cooled off a little bit.
we took him for the Olympics. We took him for um he won the Masters last year. I think yeah, he's only before this year he's only had the two Masters, so um he just got his first PGA this year. I think he gets the US Open done next week.
Yeah, another major would be nice. We saw that graphic the other day. People talk about how dominant he is, but compared to Tiger Woods, it's pretty far off. I mean, maybe one
Absolutely.
day, but
Yeah.
it's surprising how many the numbers Tiger put up is just insane.
Yeah, I saw someone say Tiger Woods should root for Scotty Scheffler for like another year or two. Because it's just has to be fun to hear your name brought up every time Scotty wins something. They're like, but Tiger did this.
Yeah.
Like if they're like in the last guy or the first guy since Tiger Woods, like everything he does is the first since Tiger, the first since Tiger. They were like, if you're Tiger, this got to boost your ego a little bit.
It's like Tom Brady, one of the GOATs right there.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, you earned that. That's by winning. Um, but yeah, before Mackie gets on here, we'll jump into some of this NBA stuff that's not the finals. The Orlando Magic released their rebrand on Tuesday, featuring a new logo and all new jerseys. How are you feeling about this rebrand? We get another team with a circle basketball logo, pretty standard. I wish we could go back to like the 2000s, early 2000s NBA logos, the old Denver Nuggets, the old Nets logo. But I actually like this one. I think it is a good look. That color, they've
You
had some
can't
of my
like
favorite
Mackie said, you
jerseys.
can't mess up that color wave.
Yeah, and
Black, white, blue, that they throw the pinstripes on. Normally, I'm a hater of the
I
pinstripes for
found
the
out that
Yankees, but
I originally didn't love the black one. Now that I saw it's that jacket that Shaq wore at the All-Star game, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is actually pretty
it
sick.
does look like they're going back to Shaq era Magic.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of these teams now, you're seeing teams go with these retro type looks, throwback type looks, color waves, formats, and that's the thing. They're eye catching, they're poppy.
that's what
I
people
think we
our age
went
want to see. We want to see what we saw when we were kids.
they also went too modernized for a while, and they got away from the sport, and it didn't really look like sports anymore. It looked like creative
Like
art.
a Disney show.
Yeah, and let's get back to some of the nitty-gritty, some tough looking stuff. I mean, that's gonna look sharp on the basketball court. It's nice for a Magic team that's starting to come along too. I mean, they have their young pieces together, so we know they're gonna win games in it. You're gonna get to see your favorite reels after the games with those two. You go down to Mickey Mouse
Play your
land.
song.
Yeah,
Play the song.
go down to Mickey Mouse land, buy one of
Yep.
your new jerseys. That's gonna it's awesome. Good for them.
Yeah. And then we'll jump into this. Mackey will get his opinion on this. The New York Knicks have fired head coach Tom Thibodeau after their Eastern Conference Finals appearance,
Easy, dude.
where
Crazy.
they fell to the Pacers in 6. Brunson defended Thibodeau after the series, saying that he was the right guy. Knicks proceeded to move on just a few days after. Who do you think is going to be the Knicks coach? Are you surprised by this?
I am shocked by this. I mean, they went and brought in the Nova Knicks for Tom Thibodeau coach. They got rid of DiVincenzo. They went as far as the
And they
Knicks have
do,
gone.
and I don't want to cut you off here. They did what everyone thought they couldn't do is get through you guys.
Yeah, they got through the Celtics. Regardless of how it was done, they did it, and they did it handedly. And the year that they had looked really good. This is their first year with all these pieces together too, and you're like, let's have them hit the road. I mean, yeah, you would like to see something different about by getting bounced by the Pacers 2 years in a row, but what are you going to do? That Pacers team is on a run right now. That's a run for the ages, and that's why they're at where they're at. Yeah, you would like to see them play better, even extend the series to 7, but they got to 6. I mean, you can't really complain too much. You got to the Eastern Conference Finals. You went a step further than last.
Home court though is tough.
Yeah, you got a step further than you did last year, though, and it's his first year with that group. They just brought in Karl-Anthony Towns. They just brought in Bridges. They just brought in Hart, right? I mean, give him one more year to prove what he did. He got to the ECF, got through the monster. The Celtics are gonna be shorthanded next year too. I mean, they gotta be like, our first instinct was what you said. Maybe they're going after a big fish that doesn't wanna play for Thibodeau. Maybe
Yeah.
he didn't use his bench enough. That's one really, really important thing to notice. I always saw, like, the thing that says Knicks bench players are probably the happiest out of anybody with this,
Yeah.
but it is
I
controversial.
don't know. I can't feel bad for a guy getting paid $15 million to not play.
Yeah, no, not even that. I'm just saying, is that a boneheaded move to keep
Yeah.
pieces
No,
on
I
the bench?
agree.
I don't know, maybe you give him a year to rethink his strategy and come back after getting the ECF, at least I would, but
Yeah.
do you think it's more so because of the players they're gonna bring in or because of the coach they're gonna bring in?
I think I truly have no clue. I was pretty blindsided by this. They obviously I didn't think the talks were that real of this happening.
No,
Like,
me either,
as soon as
especially
they
so
lost, they were
immediately.
like, "Do you fire Thibodeau? Do you fire Thibodeau?" It's like,
No,
"No."
no,
Yeah, no.
no.
But, like, obviously, with you everyone calls them the Nova Knicks, the name that's getting thrown around, Jay Wright.
Mhm.
Obviously, they'd love
I
to go
saw
to
that.
Dan Hurley at, UConn. That's not a far move. Rick
Didn't really
Pitino,
turn
I've
down
even
that
turned.
Lakers job though, what, a year or 2 ago?
Yeah, I think if you turn down the Lakers, I mean, I guess the Knicks is everyone
Closer to
wants to
home, but
play at
I don't see
MSG.
him going to the NBA.
All right, we are back. Mackie has officially joined us. We were just discussing Tom Thibodeau being fired by your New York Knicks. We kind of heard your take on it, but if you want to let the people know how you're feeling post Eastern Conference Finals exit.
Yeah, they better have a plan. I mean, most success we've had in 25 years, and you go ahead and fire your head coach, who I think did a great job. I know he's heavy on the minutes. McCall Bridges, Josh Hart played 42 plus minutes every game. But I mean, it was a recipe for success for a while. So, um, all I'm saying is make the right decision next.
Who's the guy? Who do you want?
I don't know. They were talking about Rick Pitino. They were talking
I
about
saw Rick Pitino. That would be
Imu
cool.
Doka, who they completely shut down. Jason Kidd, they're saying they're going to shut down right
No
away.
Mike Malone. No Dan
I
Hurley.
I would like Mike
Jay
Malone.
Wright.
Um, there's another one that I forget that
Not
was
like
up there as
Budenholzer or
well.
Vogel. You don't want one of those
I don't
guys.
really want. I really want Mike Malone. That would probably be
That
best.
I
But
would like to.
they
I would
don't.
like
They
that on.
obviously don't have a guy ready. Like he would have been signed like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy, Mackie. I just can't understand why they did it. Is it a coach? Is it a player? Like, he did so well. He got you to the furthest you've been in so long. Yeah,
It's
you did.
definitely not a player. There's no there's no miscommunication between him and the players.
Is
I
there
can
going to be
promise you
much
that.
change in that
No,
roster?
Mackie, we were saying, like, are they going after someone this offseason that, like, is a free agent that's not gonna come there if he's a coach kind of thing? I
Who?
don't know, are you
Kevin
gonna
Durant,
trade
Giannis?
Jimmy
for
Butler is
Durant,
the
trade to
only.
get Giannis, like,
Yeah, but why wouldn't Giannis want to play for Tibbs?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a reason
We're
they would have fired him other
flabbergasted that
than,
he's
like,
not even the coach anymore.
What'd you say?
We just can't believe that he's not the coach
Yeah,
anymore.
it's pretty stupid. I
yeah,
really
we're
hope they have
trying
a
to think of
plan.
ways that, like, what they were thinking or I don't know.
I saw things like they were gonna promote him to like vice president of operations and then bring in a coach, and then they go and fire him. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is.
I was telling Ace, I didn't think the talks of him getting fired during the Eastern Conference Finals were that real.
I didn't even see anything.
I did hear a
I
couple
saw
people
a few
say
jokes.
that.
Because of
You
the
see
bench
NBA Centel?
mismanagement?
NBA Centel tweeted out Tom Thibodeau fired a day before he got fired. So that's how you know it's like a joke. He's like
But
he only tweets out like bullshit that like would never happen.
yeah.
It's gotta be just the mismanagement of the bench, but I think with the success he had, you should have given him one more offseason to figure it out, reevaluate his philosophy, and come back with the group he had because he got them further than anybody has in a long
But do
time.
you think he mismanaged the bench? I don't think he did.
I
I
mean,
think
a
I
lot of
think
people would say that.
you could see, I definitely could see the argument for it, but the Knicks' style of play was have those
He didn't
guys
coach a
on the floor.
traditional game.
It also wasn't a fatigue issue. That's not why we lost.
No,
It
but
wasn't.
some people think that maybe if you coached more traditionally and used a
Well,
second unit more often.
maybe build a better bench. I mean, you have fucking Landry Shamet, which actually did play great in the
Deuce
playoffs.
McBride.
Deuce is good. I'm not gonna worry about him. He's our best guy off the bench. But when you have Landry Shamet playing like 20-minute games in the Eastern Conference Finals,
Campaign.
Campaign played 5 minutes a game, went 0 for 3 every single
What
game.
about Mitchell Robinson? You think he
Four
played
fouls
in
in 4
much?
minutes, 0 for 3, and then he was out.
The one span I saw Campaign, I don't know if it was against the Celtics or against the Pacers, shoot 3 threes, 3 possessions in a row, and miss
Which
all
all 3 of them. He got
Alright,
all cocky because that one game against the Pistons, he went like 4 for 5.
well, rest in peace, Thibodeau, Huff. What the helly? Let's get into their dad. The Indiana Pacers are in the finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Who would have thought we would have seen Tyrese Halliburton here, one of the most overrated players in the league, allegedly, taking on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, free throw merchant, the super team that has been unstoppable all year. I mean, what a run by these Pacers, though, huh? I mean, who saw this coming? Not me.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, everyone picked the Thunder to be here. Pacers, they get through the Bucks, they get through Cleveland, they get through Mackey's Knicks, and now they're going up again another big series that they're an underdog in. Pacers are plus 475 to win this series on DraftKings. Thunder minus 650. Game one will be tomorrow night. Thursday the 5th in Oklahoma City. For game one. Let's go through. Obviously, I said the series odds for this one. Who do you guys like in the series? And then we'll get into the spread and stuff for game one and who we like in game one.
You guys are value hunters. There's got to be value on the Indiana Pacers, right? I can't bring myself to bet it, I don't think. But there's a lot of value on them. And do you guys remember in the offseason, throughout the regular season, we'd be like, oh, that Pacers team's good. Like, we'd talk about the top teams in the East. We'd be like, oh, you got the Pacers too. Like, the Pacers are a good team. They took out Mackey's Knicks last year. We thought it was a fluke kind of because they were super banged up. Yeah, they went into Madison Square Garden, won in 7 games, which is pretty tough to do regardless of how banged up you were. But that's what we chalked it up to. They were talking about getting Paul George back. We're like, no, I don't think they should mess with that aura they got going on there. They're growing a good young team that's feisty. They went to the ECF, played the Celtics tough, even though they got swept. They brought in Siakam. They brought in the right guys. They kept their vets like TJ McConnell on the bench. They brought in Halliburton and developed their young team and built around it. And they buy into their system. Tyrese Halliburton showing us what a true point guard looks like, unlike all these guys who just chuck threes and get buckets all game. He's distributing the ball and putting up stats all around. That's why he was on Team USA. And they're buying in. They're just doing the unthinkable, winning games. A lot of clutch wins on this run too. Unthinkable clutch wins with the odds shooting up to like probably plus 20,000 almost when they're down like 18 to 20 points, 10 points in the last like few minutes of game. Come back and win. It's just craziness to see. But the complete other side of the coin is the Oklahoma City Thunder don't lose to teams in the East. I don't think they've lost to a team in the East in 2025, or if they have.
The last team was the Indiana Pacers, actually.
When was it? Was it in
Oh, no, it
January?
wasn't. It was the last team to beat OKC. The last Eastern Conference team to beat OKC in OKC was the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, and that was a long time ago, right? Like months ago.
Yeah, I think it was like
Was it January?
it might have even been before the new year.
Yeah, that's craziness. And like I said, they just don't lose games to Eastern Conference. They don't lose many games in general. Shout out to the trade. That front office just literally built a dynasty powerhouse. They have more picks to come. You got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP SGA, and you have guys like Chet Holmgren. They brought in your guy Hartenstein, who's a very underrated piece. The Williams are nice adds there. Dort is one of the best clamps in the league, top to bottom. The bench, Alex Caruso too. Just glue guys throughout and bona fide studs, and they're a tough mismatch for everybody. We all thought it was my Celtics were going to be here, and we knew how good that team could be, and they were mismatched playing the Thunder too. So I don't know how the Pacers are going to stand toe to toe with them. Who'd they get through to get here? The Bucks, the Cavs, and the Knicks. Nowhere near as good of a roster as this OKC team. I think they put them out in 5 here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's 5 as well. I want to say 6. I think 5.
How gritty and feisty is this Indiana team?
That's the only thing is I think OKC is like unbeatable, but I can't find a way. Like you could talk me into Indiana winning the series.
Didn't the Nuggets give them a little bit of trouble though, and
Yeah,
some
I
other
mean the
teams?
Nuggets had him on the brink. I mean it was a 40-point game 7,
Nikola Jokic.
but yeah, I mean Nuggets had him. Could have.
I I I agree. I think it could be
I
go.
feel like we're sitting here trying to tell ourselves that Indiana can win this
Dude,
series.
I'm rooting
In
for the
reality,
Pacers. I'm gonna
Indiana
be very
cannot win the
adamant about
series.
that. I want the
On
Pacers to
paper,
win.
they stand no chance. But
Yeah,
the game is
no.
not played on paper. In OKC, early on in all of these series in the West, it looks like they fall asleep a little bit and they don't play up to their potential. It doesn't look like they always have their foot on the gas.
This
When they
I
do,
don't.
in the middle of the series, they beat people by like 30 to 50 points. So they should be beating them like that every single night. No reason not to be. But they leave their foot off the gas. And the Pacers, throughout their whole run, when anybody has done that, they've taken the game and stole it right from you.
I don't want to say this reminds me of last year, but it kind of does with the Celtics going up against the Mavericks. There was obviously a very good team and a very inferior team. I don't want to overthink it. I think it's Thunder in 5. I'm definitely rooting for the Pacers, though.
I can
Yeah,
see
I
4.
want them to make it a series. I would like that. And
I think
they
Indiana gets one at home.
can they steal one on the road? I don't know. They might catch them by surprise early on in the series.
I don't even want to say no because they genuinely could win a few games, but
and they steal it. And you know what'll happen?
OKC
They'll
would
look like
have to
they're
slack.
losing all game, and then they'll end up winning at the end.
OKC would have to slack.
Pascal Siakam, how good has he been? Yeah, I know he just got the award over Halliburton for the best player.
He's the
in the
best
Eastern
player
Conference
on that
Finals.
team. He is
Hit-
easily
hit
the best player on that team.
Halliburton, but their depth, that's a team that does have a good enough bench, Mac. You talked about your bench being weak. Compared to other Eastern Conference teams, that's a bench that can compete with the second unit of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, it comes down to certain players. Obi, he can be a liability. He could be really bad out there. Ben Shepherd puts up good minutes.
What about Mathurin and Naismith? They can get
Benedict
hot from the
Mathurin
three-point line.
had like 7 points in games 1 and 2 combined, and then he had like 50 in games 3 and 4.
Him and
So,
Naismith, when they get hot from beyond the arc, you gotta watch
yeah,
out.
but Nisa starts.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Mathurin is kind of X factor. It kind of comes down to what he could do. But I mean, these shot makers on the side, Nembhard, if he can hit his threes, Miles Turner needs to hit his threes. Halliburton needs to hit his shots. He can't just be pass only. I mean, don't get me wrong, he doesn't turn the ball over at all, so he can create whatever he wants. But he needs to be hitting his shots as well. Everything has to click for these Pacers if they want a chance.
I do like the way that Halliburton plays the point guard position though. The low turnover rate. He can do it all. Swiss Army knife type of guard. And then the clutch factor that he has though, you can't deny that. If the game's within reach in that last few minutes, that team just turns on to a whole nother level. Mackie, I mean, that Naismith game was insane.
And it won them the series.
And then the bucket that Halliburton got, like, makes something out of nothing, and then it falls in. He's got that magic touch. I mean,
He's got
you
the
can't-
clutch gene is what he's
you
got.
can't count this team out. Ice is in their veins, and they're playing with house money. That's the other thing. A lot of expectations on this OKC team. We talk about Indiana being inferior, unexperienced, but has OKC been to this moment? No, they haven't. They haven't. And they have all of the pressure in the world on them. None is on the Pacers here. I still think the OKC gets it done in 5, but I think that the games are going to be a lot more competitive than we think. There will be a blowout. I think there's going to be at least one 30-point win, but I think there's going to be a couple of close games. And if it gets really close, like we said, the clutch factor is going the other way. But we know the whistle comes out when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's out there, so look for that to be an important factor.
Absolutely, Mackie. What was your official choice? You going with Thunder in 4?
I'll go with Thunder in 5.
So we're all saying Thunder in 5.
We're sweeping it. That's not
Yeah.
good. That means the Pacers.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not good. I'll switch to 6.
Yeah,
I'll give the Pacers an
I'm
extra
gonna
one.
stick with it. I'm gonna stick by the paper. I've been stick by the book. I love chalk. We'll stick with it. What's that odds again on the Pacers, Mackie?
I saw as high as plus 575. Huff just said plus 475.
That was on DraftKings. I couldn't find odds listed on MGM.
It might have dropped.
Yeah, it keeps dropping. I thought I saw it plus 700 a while ago at some point, but
We'll transition over to the NHL. We'll end things off with the Stanley Cup Finals, which get underway tonight. Obviously, this will be over by the time you're listening to this. June 4th in Edmonton, where the Oilers will take on the Panthers in Game 1 of the rematch of last year's final. Let's take a look at the odds for tonight's game in Game 1. Give our series picks and obviously how many games you think it's going to take. The Panthers tonight on the road are plus 105 on the money line. The Oilers are minus 125 to take game one in Edmonton. Over under at 6, with the over being minus 120. Ace, who do you have in game one? Who do you have winning the Stanley Cup?
Mackey's right there with me. We locked in the greatest player in the world. The Rogers Center is going to be snapping tonight. Leon Draisaitl playing alongside him on that power play. Look at Ryan Nugent-Hopkins stepping up. Jeff Skinner potted a goal for the first time in his life in the playoffs. I mean, that team's buzzing. The depth they added around them's crazy too. Jake Wallman was a great trade deadline acquisition. Look at Stuart Skinner starting to play hockey like a goalie and not like some Swiss cheese in the pipes. That's nice to see. He's been put up a lot of donuts too. When you're keeping someone under 1-0 goals, you can win a lot of games with 97 and 29 buzzing up there. No Hyman for the series is tough to see. My boy Freddie's up there too. But I just think having the home ice advantage is nasty. One thing that really cautions me though, how the hell do you put the Florida Panthers out in a series? They've won 10 of their last 11 series in the last 3 years. The only loss coming in the Stanley Cup Finals, and then they've been running the table. The best road team in the league too. Mackie, I know that's probably why we're getting that minus 114 line tonight. I think we are recarding that one officially, right? We're getting that play out there.
If we want to, we have to get it out there.
Throw it up before we log off this. But that minus 114 line, you would think there would be a heavier line for the home team in game one, but the Florida Panthers on the road have been dynamite. You got to give them their flowers. Paul Maurice, I don't agree with what he did to Rob Brendamore, saying you don't shake hands. That's why a guy that never played hockey is coaching the team, and Paul Maurice, I don't know if you guys knew that, not a hockey player himself, but the team that he has established top to bottom throughout the lineup, the guys they brought in, the new faces, the depth on the defensive side, Sergei Bobrovsky, I mean, that's the scariest team to look at. I hate watching them win, but I think McDavid's due for a cup. And look at all the greats before him. Gretzky lost to the team, next year went back, beat the team. Crosby lost to the team, went back, next year beat the team. History repeats itself. It's going to do it once again with the third best player of all time right now, with a chance to potentially jump one, maybe two. I don't know. That's far down the road, but I think they get the job done tonight at home. Game one, send a statement to the Panthers that we're not the team of last year that's going to fold early on and give into your nonsense. I've got them. They're going to put up a crooked number, make Bobrovsky look stupid. I think Skinner, if he gives up more than 3, it's going to be a tough night, but I think he might show out. I think he might show out tonight. I don't know. That's the one thing that's the biggest question mark. I've got them tonight. I think the offense is going to be rocking. Give me a 5-1 Oilers win. They're a statement win to open this.
Oh, Hulk doesn't like that one.
I don't. I think I have Florida repeating at 6.
Whoa.
Oof. I
just think, dude, McDavid's on a mission. He's doing whatever the hell he wants.
I don't trust the goaltending. I know, and that's for
he's
obviously
played great. He's played incredible.
He's been great. He was so good in the Western Conference Finals. He gets a really good team in Dallas. I think, like Ace just said, I don't know how you put this Florida team to bed in 7 games.
Yeah, like how do you knock them out? It's so crazy. Like this team just hangs around. And you know what? Matthew Tkachuk said it. And I remember talking to you guys before the Leafs series. The one time I was rooting for the Panthers was when they're playing the Leafs. I think I hate that team more. But early on in the series, these skilled teams will take it to you with their speed, but they just beat the crap out of you. And by it gets to game 3, game 4, game 5, the attrition sets in and it takes over because it's relentless. It's nonstop. Look at the way that Tkachuk went after Aho right off the faceoff. That's just something you don't teach. Nobody else does that. And the whole lineup does the same thing. Guys like Marchand, Bennett, Tkachuk, they have who is it, Greer down there and Nosek, and then they have the skill and Luis Ryan and Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Boquist. There's just so many names on that lineup. And then look at the defense. They're healthy now. Ekblad and Forsling. You got Seth Jones playing in the third role. That's the best spot he's been in his career. But I'm with Mackey. He's due. 97 is on a mission. Remember the look he gave Draisaitl when they were down the last time they were losing in a series? In a game?
Game 1.
I think they're ready. You telling me that guy, Connor McDavid, goes to game 7, drags his team all the way back from down 3-1, loses in game 7, gets all the way back to the cup next year and doesn't get his? I think he's due.
Yeah, I think that's crazy to even think about. I think
being due is different than if I actually think he's going to do it. I just think Florida's too good.
How many
the way
points
the
has
Oilers have been
put
playing
up in the series?
Huh?
How many points is McDavid putting up in this series?
Oh, I mean, he could if the Florida wins it again, he could be
He
the
could
Conn
win.
Smythe again.
You can win the Conn Smythe again.
He could be the first back-to-back Conn Smythe winner that obviously
Doesn't win a
has
cup.
never won a cup.
Oh, that'd be a slap in the face. You know what though? I think there's gonna be X factors for the Oilers that step up. People talk about the depth of the Florida Panthers. Look at Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, former first-round pick. How great
Corey
he has
Perry,
been.
guy that's been here, done that. Obviously, never
Just
won it,
scores
but
goals. All he does
yeah.
is score goals. Leon Draisaitl, we know how great he is. I don't even need to say anything else on him. Evan Bouchard, I mean, he's part of that.
I might take
three-headed
him to score first tonight. I took it the one game, but I only put like
Draisaitl?
$10 on it. I was pissed.
Draisaitl.
Yeah.
Draisaitl? Yeah, it's good. But I think the Oilers got tonight. I think it'll be. I could see them even going up 2-0, and then it goes back to 2-2. I'm gonna go Oilers in 6. I got Oilers in 6. I say they win it on the road in Florida to put them away, and I think that the offense is gonna be rocking the whole time. One guy that I have been very anti on, and he always proves me wrong because he just wins games. Sergei Bobrovsky is going to give up a lot of goals in this series.
I'm gonna go Oilers in 7. I think it's gonna be a bloodbath. You could see back and forth, or every team wins their home game. Like I said, Panthers play very, very well on the road, so I could see them still win on the road. But I just think McDavid, he's on a mission right now. Him and Draisaitl, 26 and 25 points in the playoffs, leads the pack. Skinner's got to play well, and I think he's been playing great, and I think that's just the deciding factor right there.
Yeah.
The hidden gems for each team, those X factors for the Oilers, it's got to be Skinner, right?
I was gonna say if you don't say Skinner, that's
awful. And if he's awful right away,
No, Hyman could be tough too, but they're gonna pick up slack.
Yeah, how quickly do you think they swap to Picard now that he's healthy if Skinner
No way.
lays an egg?
I don't think so. Why? Picard's been injured.
Yeah, that's why
Skinner got in.
Ended round 2 and started round 3 with Skinner. I think he ended round 2. Skinner did, and they just kept riding him because he was playing well. But in the middle of round 3 against the Stars, Picard came back.
Skinner might have to shit the bed, like actually shit the bed.
Oh, he's done that. We know he can.
He's very capable of that.
The sub 880 save percentage in the playoffs, but the shutouts make that all look very good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Meanwhile, for the Panthers, who is it? Is it Marchand on that third line? Is it Seth Jones? Who's going to step up? Who's the unsung hero for them? Because we know Barkov, Reinhart, and Tkachuk are going to be buzzing.
Verhaeghe, guys like that.
Verhaeghe.
It might be
or Bennett, maybe a Bennett to kind of like you said, the style they want to play. He's a huge player on that
and
team.
It'll do his. He'll get his.
Yeah.
It's guys like Marchand that need to get
Seth Jones, guys you just went out and got for this run. Marchand, your guy.
That's what I'm saying. Marchand down on that third line role is crazy. What about them moving up Jesper Boquist to the first line when they benched Reinhart in Game 4 against the Canes? It's crazy. Just the amount of lineup flexibility that Maurice has is nuts. He has some of the best quotes and some of the best speeches. Like I said, I don't agree with what he did with the handshake line, but he's gonna have that team fired up. They have the best penalty kill too. Remember watching that Four Nations face-off? Remember the Finland team? They had Luristarinen on that kill. They had a couple of these other guys out. Marchand, we know well he can kill a penalty. And Barkov, the Selke finals. I think he won.
I was gonna say he's a dog.
He was always runner up to Bergeron.
He just got it again.
Yeah, he just got it again. So they're gonna be looking good. And that defense they rebuilt too. So if anything, maybe look for some of that depth for the Oilers to take advantage of that lower tier defensive units of that line. How many overtime games do you think we see in this series? Couple?
1.
Well, these teams are high flying. When they win, they usually win by.
I was going to say 1. And I think.
How many did we see last year?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I think there's at least 1 though.
I'm going to go with 1.
I'll go 1 as well. I'm going to look
Mackie,
up
what were you going to
day.
ask me before he was saying that?
I don't even remember.
Okay. I think that's all we got. I'm going with the Thunder in 6, the Panthers in 6. Let me know what you guys are going with, and we'll sign this off.
Oilers in 6. Connor McDavid, bro. Let's go. He's due. Put these cats to bed. Come on.
What are you doing?
Mackie, what do you got?
0 OT games.
Last year?
I'm in my house. Can you hold on one second?
How many 1-goal games?
1, 2.
2
including Game 7.
Yeah, Game 7, close to the vest. Every goal matters. Mackie, what do you got for your series? Lock them in right now. Thunder in 5 for me. Oilers in 6.
I'm going to go Oilers in 7.
Oilers in 7.
On home ice in the Rogers Center. Get it done.
That'd be insane. Canada hasn't seen a cup in a very long time. Mackie and I going
93.
against the trend, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it. Thanks for listening to us. Like I said, season 4, episode 38. We will see you guys this weekend. Stanley Cup Finals underway tonight. NBA Finals underway on Thursday. Thanks for listening. Leave us a like, follow, share, subscribe. HitTheBooks.pod on Instagram. HitTheBooks_pod on Twitter. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.